Hey, what is happening, everybody? I am at Pruitt. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit podcast. Hope y'all are doing well. We are just sitting around on this fine Wednesday, sitting here to my right, camera right or camera left. I don't know which one it is the one and only, the most popularist, the one everybody knows and love, also known as Queen Pruitt, sitting there. How you be?
I'm swell. How are you?
Well, I'm unbelievable other than looking at you over there with the hat on and you get the shadow on your eyes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Look like you stoned when you get the shadow on your eyes.
This is where I am though. This is my vibe. This is how I'm feeling.
That's your vibe.
This is my vibe.
Care to elaborate on that?
I've been trying to ditch the shade over myself. So
yet you put a hat on to create a shadow on your face.
It's comforting right now.
Oh, okay. I just gotta give you a little bit of grief. Anyway, thank y'all for being here. We're doing this early again because I got stuff to do. Tonight, there is a game. I didn't necessarily plan on shooting it. I may shoot it, but it's featuring our little niece, little weirdo. She is playing flag football, and flag football is fairly new here in the area for high schools. And last year was their first year, and she's playing this year. And looking forward to it and seeing what she does out there, and hopefully she runs 200 miles an hour, because that's all I ask is just go hard. Just go hard. Just go. Give me some effort. That's all it is. So if you're hanging out with us live right now, we appreciate you being here. And I see folks in our chat, our usual suspects, if you will, that I know and love dearly. I really do appreciate you.
Hello, John.
Hanging out in there. I see John Helm is up in the house. And there's also my man, Mr. Ozone Nightmare. Ozone Nightmare is up in there. What?
He said, it sounds like one of those days. I'm like, it's one of those years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would say lifetimes, but
no, it ain't lifetimes.
Right before we moved out here, bro, I continue to go back to that time, because it's like, I know you weren't happy on your job. I wasn't happy on my job. Mm-hmm. But we were able to go on a summer vacation. Mm-hmm. we could go to Wally World. We had time to
Wally World, yeah.
Think about going to Wally World. Now it's just like
those days will be back at some point. They will. And quite frankly, I got a hunch the days will be back. Not even on your dime or my dime. It'll be on the hardhead's dime, because both of them, it's time for them to repay the debt. Repay the debt, if you will. And I'm totally fine with that. I am not going to be ashamed of it. I'm dead serious. I will not be ashamed of it. Oh, my chat didn't show up, so let me fix it to where I can make sure the chat shows up on the screen properly. Hit this little button here. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on, why the schedule is a little different today. And then we started a little bit late because we were in the middle of doing an application, trying to find somewhere cheaper and more affordable to stay. And that application process just... Man, it was slow. It wasn't a hard application. It's just everything is online and stuff just goes so slow on some of these websites. But hopefully it's all for the good and going to work out. And actually, we believe it's going to work out. I want that place. I'm not speaking for her.
I told you, you can speak for me on this, because we actually talked about it and we're in there. It's an interesting little spot, but it's got character and it's another word, charm. That's
definitely has character, but it has some charm too. And that's gonna be our place. It's gonna be our place. So yet another move, but affordable, and we go from there. And in addition to that, update wise for me is I've had more job apps and stuff put out there. I do have a job interview tomorrow morning for a company. I had a job interview yesterday and they offered me a trial position on it. So we're going to see how that works out. It's not paying a lot of money, but it's something right now, because unfortunately the grocery store turned me down when I applied for the for them too. You know, they turned me down, and a bunch of other people have turned me down. Even like I won't say their name, but one of the popular insurance companies out there, you know. You
didn't work well with others. I think that's what that test probably said.
That's not true.
You said, I like working alone. I like working alone. I like working alone. I like working alone. And they probably like, he's not going to be alone.
Well,
so.
Well, look here. Look. I like working alone.
We already just said that.
No, just let me finish. I like working alone does not equate to I can't work with others. There's a difference, you know?
I know that, and you know that, but people don't read that.
I like beer, but I prefer whiskey. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I like $50 bills, but I prefer $100 bills. Kind of thing. Is that what you saying?
No. What I'm saying is I know who I am, and I am what I am. But I'm also someone that does a decent job of adapting. And I think my career speaks to that. You know?
Yeah.
I have been, for as long as I can remember, and I've told y'all this, a reluctant leader. Every freaking role I've had ends up being some type of leadership role, whether I ask for it or not. Mm-hmm. And then even I think back to just even being at Twit. You know, I ran my own stuff with far as getting my show together and things like that. And I had my editing team. You know, we all worked together in that aspect. But far as getting that show done, it was all me. It fell on me. And everybody knew that's how that worked. Mr. Sargent worked on whatever show he was working on. If that show didn't go out, they wasn't looking at the editors. Mm-hmm. They're looking at Mr. Sargent because it's his shit, you know. But at the same time, I knew how to work with Mr. Victor, my editor. He and we clicked. We saw eye to eye, and we could collaborate to make things look a certain way or sound a certain way and things like that. So, yeah, I like doing all my stuff alone. So when the COVID stuff happened, it was perfect for me. Mm-hmm. But when it was time to collaborate with Mr. Victor, I could very easily do that. You know what I'm saying? So and then even still at Twit, ended up being the community manager there.
Yeah.
Which was essentially a leadership step.
I'm an adaptable person too.
You think so?
I can do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Such as?
Well, I mean, there's not a job that in this area of world life that I haven't done. I worked in some part of something somewhere. I remember telling people, oh yeah, I used to do this and that. Well, wow, you have a huge resume. Yes, I do.
Dude.
I've dabbled in a little bit of everything.
Dude, I gotta tell you folks listening there. And by the way, since y'all in there listening, please hit thumbs up, like, share, all that good stuff. So invite some other people in here to hang out. In particular, if you're in the Patreon, post it to the folks you know in Patreon or what have you. Actually, I don't even know if y'all could do that. But anyway, so never mind that part, but just share it anyway. As I was saying, she's talking about all of her different skills, but man, y'all don't know. There was a point in time back in the day, like with tax season. As she ducks her head. When tax season would roll around, you know, every year you get your W-2s here in the United States, because I know we got international folks, but you get your W-2s. for tax season every year. And so every job that you work, they give you a W-2 or a 1099 form. For most of my career, I would get one W-2, maybe two tops if I did a part-time gig. This chick over here, though.
Now I have
No. I said back then. That's how this conversation started. I didn't say now.
Ooh.
This chick, she would have.
I promise you, it would be double digits sometimes.
That's no exaggeration. We're not being hyperbolic here. This is factual.
It would get up to double digits when I'm waiting on stacks of W-2s to come in to take to the tax office, and they just look at me and shake their head, and then they start charging for them.
Yeah. I would too. You making them do all that extra work?
Oh, it's they getting
charging
paid
for all them extra staples and stuff too.
They get paid the same amount whether I have one W-2.
No, I know.
That's the thing, and that's what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got one, it's one amount, but if I have 5, it should still be that same amount.
John says, "Hustling queen." That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You gotta do it.
Man. But yeah, that's what's been going on of late so far, is just dealing with the application process. The interview tomorrow, I don't know what to expect of it. I just expect it to go well. And we'll go from there. And then that whole trial run that the other job offered me, all I can do is throw my hands up and see how it goes, because it's, in all honesty, it's a bit of the both parties trying to fill each other out. They're going to try to fill me out, and I'm going to try to fill them out. So that's some would call it a probationary period, I guess. Instead of it being 90 days, it's a couple weeks. And then, did I have anything else of note? Can't think of anything. Thank you, John. It says fingers crossed in the chat.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. But no, I can't think of anything else. You were sick last week on the show, and
it didn't go away, y'all.
People noticed it, and
it didn't go away.
You went through the ringer.
It's been a rough week. I thank God you was here with me, because I could have died. I could have died, Anthony. You saved my life. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Wow. Now that is an award-winning performance right there. That's impressive. And the Emmy goes too. Because I know right now you could care less if I was up in here, because all you was doing was snoring.
No, I almost died that morning. I tried to go back to work. I don't know what that was.
Nah, you basically wasn't ready to go to work, is what that is. And your body was like, nah, dude, you need to sit back down.
It was some kind of episode. I'm trying to get ready for work, and I went down fast. I didn't even know what that was, but it was not time. It just didn't get better. And I don't know what I had, because I didn't take any tests.
Yeah.
Because if Anthony had brought me tests, I would have taken them.
I wasn't going to bother with it.
I didn't take.
I'm real talk. I wasn't even going to bother with a test. If it was a COVID thing, I didn't care, because it's too late. I'm already exposed to her. She's in the house. Nothing changes. And also, doctors are not changing squat on that either. They're going to tell you stay home.
Yeah.
So
my doctor probably wasn't too happy that I was there today.
They're like, just stay home, stay in bed, because rest is what works, for stuff like that. Medicine does have a place. I'm not going to just say that doctors don't have a place. Medicine does have a place, but man, you'd be surprised how many times your bill will have the note on there: hydrate, rest. Yeah. That's it. Hydrate and rest. And you paid premium for that.
Can we applaud the donation of buying beers last week? That was awesome.
Oh, man. The live chat. Yes, we can applaud that. So let me pull that up first of all. John mentions, can we applaud the donations of buying beers last week? And yeah, that was just, if I can pull it up on the page here, let me just do that. I'll do that over here. I told people in the newsletter that I was done with doing that newsletter, and I told them why. And I told them that, you know, we're focusing on other things. We're focusing on trying to get to a different place to stay because shit's expensive. And
it's expensive for no reason. It's a difference.
Yes,
there's a difference. Everything is expensive.
I'm trying to find a job and hadn't been able to find a job. And so I was like, you know what? I really just need to focus. And so there we go. Now that screen is up. If I hit this button here. And so people were really freaking kind and decided to, quote, buy beers for us. And that is basically donations. You know, this is through a site called Buy Me a Coffee. I didn't like that. I said, buy me a beer. And so I've always had on my website, if people wanted to buy me a beer, they can buy me a beer. And they start at like $3 or something like that. Something of the nature. But I got one here that says, look, from Dr. Sue Mentors, Sue Griffey, Dr. Sue Griffey, Sue Mentors. She bought 200 daggone beers.
Oh, that is so nice. 200
daggone beers. And for, as she mentions here, I want to make sure this is visible. There we go. For tuition, living, and creating. And so, yeah. And you saw in the chat, I told the boys, hey, we got a very, very great donation. I'm sending you all some money for the tuition. Yeah. You know, and they were very, very grateful.
Very grateful.
You know, and then there's right below that, looks like someone else brought 150 beers. And then another 10 beers there, another 5 beers there. And it just, I'm
very grateful.
Just speechless and grateful. And man, dude, y'all are, thank y'all so much. And it is definitely encouraging to still come in here and want to try to do something creative and share it with everybody in the community, because it's appreciated, you know. And I'm not the gazillion million follower influencer or anything like that, but people do care, and I am super grateful. Even like last week's with the creator office hours, which I cannot do this week because of scheduling. Creator office hours last week, when people were showing up, and it was cool to see there were some other people I didn't recognize showing up, and the messages that I've gotten on that. And I wasn't pushing it. I only pushed it to the Patreon people as far as promotion and so forth. But it's still making its rounds on YouTube, and then people have reached out one way or another. Some are spammers, but reached out one way or another. And it's very, very gratifying, I should say, to see that people still care about getting decent content that actually isn't just doing a bunch of praise about a product or shitting on a product, because that's another thing people like to do, or throwing somebody like Shannon Sharp in their title and say, Shannon Sharp said blah, 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 blah. And so, of course, since it's got his name in the title, people want to watch it, and it's a bunch of bullshit that, you know. So it's nice to know that people still care about just honest, straight up content, which is what this is.
For sure.
Oh man, should I tell them that you told me I couldn't go be on Guy Fieri's reality show this morning? Should I tell them that? Oh, I just said that into the mic. Oops.
I wasn't going to tell you that you couldn't go. I told you to go.
No, I'm kidding. But
no,
well,
that just, to me, it's like, why? It's just sort of like, I'd rather eat. I'd rather have some food, more like, you just want me in the background. He was just paying for background.
Yep, that's all there was. They needed people to fill the seats, and so
like in a talk show, like a TV cooking show.
Yeah, it's his cooking show that apparently is being filmed at this time.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
But they didn't have any asses in the seats, and that ain't gonna look good.
No, they needed to get screamers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, Biscuit, you all right over there? You got allergies going, dude?
He was outside in that grass. He bites it and like
the dandelion and stuff. Yeah.
No, and he's trying to get the corners when he's trying to get the gophers.
Walking around sneezing and stuff like you need some Allegra. Good grief. But yeah, that was this morning when I decided against it because we were on a mission to first get food and second find somewhere to stay. I have some stuff that I wanted to look at.
I'm glad you do, John. I care about John Helm too.
What's that? What did he say?
He says he cares about everyday shit.
Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Where did I put our stuff for the show? Dang, I thought I had all this stuff open already. Apparently I did not.
Not you.
So we'll stick that there. And then we close this one here. And then we hit this channel, and it's called Show Prep. And click that one. And then we'll click this one next here. Oh, stop. There. All right. Now I can hit the button. There. See, y'all, this is a mighty fine professional production we got here. This right here is via the apnews.com. Unless you live under a rock. Sad news for some. Others were saying it's job well done. James Earl Jones, acclaimed actor and voice of Darth Vader, dies at age 93 just a couple of days ago.
I would say job well done.
Job well done. That man, his story, for those that don't know, his story is such a great story. Mm-hmm. You hear about him being the, quote, darker voice for Darth Vader, because at the time when Star Wars was being filmed, Mr. David Prowse he was a big dude, but his voice sounded a little thin. He just didn't have a deep, menacing voice, unlike Mr. James Earl Jones. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and look at some of the outtake stuff from Star Wars and see where they're running the lines and whatnot, where of course they end up dubbing in Mr. Jones's voice, and you hear Prowse talking, it is, yeah. George Lucas may have screwed up a lot of stuff. Frankie Beverly passed it. Son of a, you serious? Oh man. Live chat from Mr. John Helms. Frankie Beverly passed today as well. Oh dude. I remember going to a concert with Frankie Beverly, and it was wow.
Wow, do you know they say that stuff come in threes?
Wow. Man. But yeah, thanks for sharing that, and condolences to their family as well. James Earl Jones, everybody knows him with his popular voice, but the fact that he battled through, first off, being a black man in America, growing up in those times in the 50s and 60s, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, being able to get himself into the studios of Hollywood during those times, all while battling his own stuttering problem, to end up being a really, really good actor and
he could read.
And
like I struggle with just reading.
Yeah. And then even better voice actor on top of that, when that news came out at the time, I was working on a VO script that I had gotten partially hired for. I'll say that. Partially hired for. And I had stuff in the back of my head because every now and then as I'm reading it here to myself, I'm stumbling through it and And I'm like, dude, just get out of your own head kind of thing. And so I'd step away every now and then. Sometimes I do the read sitting here. Other times I stand up. I ended up standing up for that read because, you know, they were wanting this certain level of energy, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So I turned my desk into the standing desk and stood up and went through the reads and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking about, I don't think people get how much work goes into doing VO stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more than just reading.
Oh yeah.
You know,
just watching any animated show, you still have to act.
You still have to freaking act.
And that's what I'm thinking about when I hear you do the voiceover is you still have to act.
Yeah.
You still got to do all the ups and the downs and the different.
Yeah, all the different inflections and so forth, you know. And with this particular one, I say I was partially hired because they hired me and then they say, no, it's just not working out. But they still paid me for my time, some of it. But with this one, you know, they wanted a certain energy level, and I think I gave them a certain energy level. And then there were times where we were sort of arguing over the pace of it, because I would go too fast and then I'd slow it down a little bit, and then it's like, no, now it's too slow. And then I'd speed up a little bit, and then, okay, that's a little bit better. So now let's fix the energy. And then it just sort of went back and forth and trying to fine tune it and this and that. And then it was like, no, we'll just move on from other folk to somebody else or whatever, which happens. And I'm okay with that. But we believe that it's probably more so the fact that my accent is still pretty countrified, you know, and, you know, I have a nice voice. I finally owned up to that a handful of years ago. I have a nice speaking voice, but I'm going to say stuff like, yeah, that fire department is necked it up with the police department. You know, I'm still country, you know, but yeah, I'm reading the words on the screen. I'm reading John Helm. I care about everyday shit. John Helm. Frankie Beverly passed today. In my head, it sounds fine. Mm-hmm. Somebody else might say that sounds Southern, you know, and I can't hide that the way other folks can, apparently. Yeah,
no, because your TH is still a D.
There's that too. Let's see. Speaking of that, let me look at this. And we were scrolling right back up to John Helm. I'm picking on you today, brother. John Helm, can we applaud the donation of buying beers last week? That was awesome. So that's TH's in there. Did it sound more like D to you?
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just too much thinking about, like, we just finished doing that.
Thanks. So let's try this again. You want to pay attention now?
It's like, why are you rereading that again? I just read that.
Oh, just so you know, we are recording too. So, okay. All right. You got it? You ready? Okay. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to start up there because it has THs in that particular message. John Helm, can we applaud the donation of buying beers last week? That was awesome.
I could hear the TH in that.
You could? Mm-hmm. Okay. See, in my brain, my brain is telling me I'm saying that, but you say
when you're
in our
talking,
general
conversations, it's the conversations are the way to go.
It's definitely D and not the.
Yeah.
When you say it.
You like that. You still with the dat instead of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all I hear with THs in when you're speaking, when you're saying the and that and the is D and dat and
get in the house. Heck, right there. right there. It sounded more like
you said there and just
get in the house.
Just there, you said right there.
Yeah.
But isn't it? Do you say it? I didn't realize it until somebody called me out on it. Instead of, isn't it? You know, I say it all the time, and I hear myself say it. Oh my goodness, that's so crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Isn't it? You know, and I know. He said, "This is this."
This is it sure is. I used to write out DA in some of my writing because I knew that's how I heard it in my head when I'm just speaking buddy to buddy, if you will.
There ain't nothing wrong with ain't. Why can't you say ain't?
I'm big on ain't. He didn't say he's not big on it. He just says he's big on ain't. That's
that's not. Is that country or?
Yes, ain't a word.
Yes, it is.
Ain't a word. What is that is okay. All right, this is going to be fun.
No, if it's not a word, where did it come from?
This is going to be fun. All right, so that word, that phrase there, ain't, it has an apostrophe in it, not a comma, an apostrophe, which is usually used for what?
Past tense.
No, not that. Why are apostrophes used?
Why are apostrophes used? Let's see.
Somebody in the chat, please assist her. Why do we use apostrophes?
Thank you. It is in the dictionary. I know it is. Conjunction. It's for conjunction. Use apostrophes to connect.
What about? No. John.
Conjunction.
All right. Contraction. Contractions.
Why is it conjunction? He said conjunction.
Well, conjunctions are commas. Conjunctions join two thoughts in sentences. Oh. That's for commas. So, Jesus Christ, boy, I swear, y'all and your grammar. So again, let's go back to ain't. You know, it has the apostrophe in there. And that apostrophe is usually substituting letters of a second word. You have can't, C-A-N, apostrophe T. What is can't? Cannot.
Okay.
So if can't is cannot, what is ain't? And not. Yeah, that's what it is. It's and not.
It's got to be a reason that it is out there, and it means nope.
It is a reason. The reason it's out there is because of Southern folk slang, and we throw all kinds of words together and call them words. Kim M's in the chat. I see a new person there.
I was always told not to say ain't growing up, but I think it's just a part of the language now. I do too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It ain't going
doing
nowhere.
It. I ain't saying it. I ain't going.
It ain't. What's that? Kim says the online dictionary adds illiterate speech to. Ooh, interesting. Didn't know that. Interesting.
Illiterate. So they're trying to say you don't know how.
Yeah, that's interesting. Which dictionary is that? Oxford.
They can kick rocks.
Yeah, is that Oxford? Those snobby bastards. Jeez. Appreciate that. We got a super chat in for $10. Thank you, Mr. Ozone Nightmare.
Thank you.
This donation to the Biscuit Kibble Fund from the Foundation for Recognizing Ain't as a Word. Someday the world will recognize that we were right all along. Man, thank you.
I mean, I want to know how many people can go throughout the day without saying ain't.
Not many. They'll go without it saying it publicly.
Yeah.
But I know they're saying it in their house. That jackass ain't getting nothing done.
That seems wrong.
That seems wrong, says Kim. Yeah, the Oxford thing, I don't like that. If it came from the Oxford dictionary. But yeah, anyway, somehow we decided to break down contractions and grammatical uses.
Now my brain is on fire.
All
you
in
had
the
to
light of
make me think.
Mr. James Earl Jones passing away. Nothing but love for him. Thank you, sir, for your service to the industry and entertaining the millions and millions of us. And thank you for, even I think it was last year, a year before, where he pretty much told the Star Wars people, all right, the license in my voice here, you got it. He's done. He's like, okay, I'm good.
That's strong.
We're moving on. That's pretty badass. Yeah. At least I don't say ask like an axe. No, I don't. And that drives me nuts when I hear people say that. Let me ask you a question. Yes. That right there. Yeah, John, thank you for bringing that up in the chat. That does drive me crazy there. Man. All right. I have one more thing to get on before we get out of here. And this is a shout out to everybody in the Patreon community. Because when I saw this, I thought of all of you in Patreon. Because most of you I know from the technical side of things, of the stuff that I create. I know you're from the photography world. Photography is very geeky, sometimes very nerdy and technical at times. Or I know you from my appearances with Twit from years ago and being on there as a permanent host and so forth. So you're very technical, or you're very nerdy, or you're very geeky. You're one of the three. Well, I'm watching YouTube because I watch YouTube as much as I would watch television anyway, on the television screen. And I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. And in particular, this comes from Dry Bar Comedy. Oh, also, it's another shout out to your sister, Sissy, because Dry Bar Comedy is like her speed. It's her speed. And so whenever I see something from Dry Bar, I tend to share it with her. Oh, and good. She sees it too, because she started watching Dry Bar and she'll share stuff with me. So I need to send her this if she hasn't already seen it already. But Dry Bar Comedy featuring Don McMillan. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit right there. But let me see. I don't think they'll take me down. So we'll go ahead and hit play over here.
You could own your seat 1 week a year.
Hold on.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't really do it.
So he's doing a slideshow.
But I used to be an engineer. Any engineers in the crowd? Yay! That was so pathetic. And yet so perfect for engineers.
This is true.
So because I'm an engineer, I put my act on PowerPoint. That's how engineers communicate. And that was me when I was an engineer. I worked in Silicon Valley, San Jose. Yeah. People are actually, oh my God, that's wrong.
Okay, let's give it forward. But anyway.
I have lots of graphs and charts. Be prepared.
Nerd or geek is what he's showing on the screen. And he did a Venn diagram.
Be smart, socially awkward, and obsessed. All three of those things. You're just laughing at the chart, sir. Clearly, he's in marketing. Smart, socially awkward, and obsessed, you're a nerd. Geeks, on the other hand, tend to be just smart and obsessed.
True.
They're just Star Trek geeks, comic book geeks. They go to conventions. They go to public events. Not nerds. I'm not at a convention unless I'm working IT support. That's the only reason I'm there.
True.
Up here, if you're smart and socially awkward, you're a dork.
True.
And we have all spent time in the dork region. And if you're socially awkward and obsessed, you're a stalker. See how that works?
True. That's just part of it. He went into this whole thing later talking about shopping. And I thought about our conversation at lunch today when you told me we needed to go into so-and-so's store and you said it was going to be quick. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, it ain't. But to your credit.
Yes.
To your credit, I timed it out and it was 5 minutes on the damn head, y'all.
I'm so glad because I can't believe you had doubts. And that you didn't believe me when I said it won't take me long. I said it will not take long. It will not take long.
Okay, so you saying you can't believe I had doubts. Did you ever consider why I would have doubts?
Yes.
Okay, so what are your considerations on why I would have why I would have doubted you.
Because I said something different this time. I said it would not take long this time. And every time is a new time. You don't have to bring up the old stuff or remember the old stuff or all the other times. This was this time.
Oh, God. Oh, here it is. I'm going to pull this one up here. Let's see. So, to play.
Well, how do you shop? I said, I'll show you. I got a GPS tracking device. Here's how I shop. And then I tracked her. So I need a pair of pants. Here's how I shop. Here's how Don shops. I walk in the mall, take a left, take a right, buy some pants, take a left, take a right, and go home.
That is me right there all day long. Back in the days when I used to actually go to a mall or something of the sort, I know what I want when I'm getting in there. And I go right to it. I grab it if it's there. And if it ain't, I leave. I grab it if it's there, go pay for it, and I leave. If I'm going into Best Buy because I need a new hard drive or something, I know what hard drives are. And I walk up in there. Hey, sir, do you need me to help you? No, they're right there. I'll get it. Thank you. And I leave. And I'm in and out. It's literally 5 minutes unless the line is long. Y'all, on the other hand, different story. Play.
That takes me 6 minutes and costs me $33.
Okay. He's a little slower than me. I do it in 5.
I got my cargo pants. I'm ready to go.
Cargo pants are winning.
Same thing. Laura needs to go shopping. She needs a pair of pants. Here's how Laura does it. She walks in the mall. There she is right there. 3 hours, 26 minutes, $876. So my wife saw me do this bit. She goes, you're not asking yourself the right question, mister. Ask yourself who's the more efficient shopper, Mr. Smarty Cargo Pants. Let's do the analysis.
This is
Don,
funny.
you spent $33 in 6 minutes. That's a cost per minute of $5.50 per minute. I, Laura, spent $876 in 206 minutes. That's $425. I kicked your butt.
She won. So not right. Yeah. But anyway, check that out. I'll put a link in the show notes. The full special is available on YouTube, and it was pretty entertaining, especially for you nerdy, techie, geeky folks that I know are out there in this audience. Y'all might enjoy that. And if you're not nerdy, techie, geeky, watch it anyway, because maybe you'll understand us nerdy, techie, geeky folks and how we roll and how we see y'all, because that shopping diagram alone says it all, man.
I don't know.
It says it all. And stalkers. What about stalkers?
Oh gosh.
Okay, if you're a stalker, I'm banning you. How about that? You're not allowed here. There, I said it. Good grief.
We want some kind of stalker. I'm a stalker. I'm a TV stalker.
Oh, okay.
I like TV shows. I get obsessed with stuff. I'm an obsessive person.
There's a difference there. A slight difference. It's very, very slight. You and our son, he's the same way. He stalks people when it comes to celebrities or ball players. He's trying to learn more about them. Sorry for clearing my throat on the mic. Don't know what's going on. But like with when he knew he was going to school up there, he started looking up the roster of people that were signees and looking at the people that were other walk-ons, and he was digging into them walk-ons.
They did that when they ended up at Rancho too. They did that before. Yeah,
they sure did.
It's a different.
You're. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
they sure did. Man. Kim in the chat. What's that you saying? Kim M. I am the in and out type of shopper. Oh, Kim, well, you and I, we can roll together. We are eye to eye. Thank you for being here.
I am not.
Yeah, you clearly are not. Because you have the squirrel moments once you get in there. Because
that's why I don't like shopping.
Well, it's all right.
Because it takes a long time, because I'm going to look and go back and look and go back and.
Okay, so.
Got to go back and pick this up. Sometimes it's a lot. Like, is this the best deal? Or can I get this cheaper somewhere else? Or.
But look, shopping is one thing. shopping.
But when you know what you want, it's one thing.
Yeah, shopping is when you're looking around for you. Okay, I need some shorts, but I want to pay the least amount for them, and I'm looking for them to be in this particular style. But if this style is over there, I'm going to compare it to that. That's shopping. I get that. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's going to take some time.
That takes time. I get that. But most of the time, I need a pair of sneakers that's going to fit. I'm going straight to the shoe rack. I'm not stopping at the t-shirts because the t-shirts on sale. That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. You know, you and you other weird folks. Like,
I cannot believe you recorded me.
Oh, really? You can't believe it? You know me how long? So
I thought you just timed me.
So we're in there. So explain what's going on here. You knew what you wanted?
Yes.
Okay, so you're looking for what you knew you wanted.
Yes.
Okay, so for the folks on audio, we are in this store and she's looking at a rack of stuff that says nail art up and down, and she's looking all around, and I've speeded up this footage, by the way. She's looking all around on this rack, and then she goes into a comparison, puts it back. No, that doesn't look right. Old dude steps up behind her and say, hey, you need anything? And
of course, I got a bag in my hand.
And I started to say something. No, that dude's been nice every time we've been in there. I remember him. He ain't been a jackass. But you're looking around almost as if you can't find something. And that would be the moment like, look, I'm looking for so-and-so. Show it to me on this rack. That's what I would do. Most of the time I don't want to do that. I agree. But show it to me on this rack, dude. And now you're still looking. Oh, what is this? And again, folks, I've speeded up this, you know. But you said you knew what you wanted.
I did.
That sure don't look like you knew what you wanted.
I did. And then when I got it, what?
I gotta tell you. And then I was impressed because you kept walking through and I was just waiting on squirrel moment. Oh, that about got her. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Okay. I'm going to keep walking. All right. I'm just going to keep going by the guy at the ladder. And all right. I'm going to, not going to squirrel, but wait a minute. One more time. Let's stop right here.
Everybody does that.
No, everybody does not. No, everybody does not. But yeah,
I think everybody does that.
No, everybody don't do that. That's when people are shopping. You said you knew what you wanted,
and I did. I did.
You must have wanted a lot of stuff, but I will give you credit. I wasn't expecting 5 minutes. I thought it was going to go a lot longer. A lot longer. Maybe it was Murphy's Law that you went 5 minutes because I started hitting record.
I didn't know you were recording me. I thought you were timing me. I didn't know you were recording me or timing me until you told me you were timing me. Now I see that you were recording me and timing me.
Yes. And it was 5 minutes on the dot, folks. So I give you your credit and job well done.
Talking about stalker.
I don't have to stalk. Look here, chick. I don't have to stalk anymore. Those days are long, long, long gone. All right. Thank y'all, folks, for hanging out with us. And again, as always, feel free to join our Patreon community. Go to patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt or auntpruitt.com/Patreon. Either one takes you to the same dadgum spot. Feel free to join the community to help support this here creative endeavor that we do. We do this each and every week. Scheduling permits. Typically we do record these on Wednesday evenings, but not this time. Next week is still up in the air too because of the stuff that I mentioned earlier in the show, but we shall figure it out at some point, even if it's just the solo of one of us. We'll see. Something will happen. We'll figure it out. Be sure to share the show with everybody that you know and love and hate, especially if you hate them. John Helm in the chat says, feel free to buy more beers too. That's the wrong button. There. Buy more beers, as he says. I totally dig that. Just go to
Thank you.
auntpruitt.com/beer. That's auntpruitt.com/beer. We appreciate that support. And actually, my whole family appreciates that support. You know what I mean? All right. Miss Phoebe, anything you'd like to add or share? before we go?
Nope. Just continue to send us those good vibes so we can be moving out of here soon. Well,
We
by
will
the
be.
28th.
Yeah. Damn right. All right, folks. Thank you again. I shall see y'all when I see y'all. And like I said, just keep sharing the show out. Do something good for yourself. Do something nice for someone else. And know that it's okay to love you some you. And still waiting on to hear what finally happens with Miss Sonia Massey. Right now, old boy's just locked up, and sounds like his support has said, nope, we're backing away too. So still waiting to hear what the final word is. Take it easy, folks. Peace.